Hi, welcome to Chrissy Creates. We're still working in ABC April 2026. That is hosted by Margreth and Toni. I will link the channels below if you don't know them, but I'm sure you do. They are absolutely amazingly creative, and I'm just in awe. Not just Margreth and Toni, all the videos I've been seeing on ABC April that's come up on my YouTube feed and in Instagram, I have just been flabbergasted. It is absolutely amazing. Ladies, you are so creative. I am really enjoying it, and I'm enjoying pushing myself to come up with some projects. Some of them did not work out. I did film something for the letter T. It was going to be like a travel ephemera organizer that you can take along on your travels and just organize all your ephemera that you collect along the way in, and everything that could go wrong just went wrong. So I was in a complete state on Thursday because I was pushing to get it out, and yes, things just were not good. I had like a mini breakdown or something, and my husband just had to say, no, just hang in there, next time will be better, and he was amazing about it. So luckily I do have him. So anyway, let's hope today will be better. We are busy at letter W. Now, before I say what I'm going to do, I thought this would be a good time to just pull in the mini album I'm working on for my daughter. So this was going to be my first project on my channel. That was the plan, and then ABC April came up, and I decided to just go out of order with the pages and cover some of the letters in the process. I did other projects as well, obviously, but I just wanted to show you how far I've got in the album. So I didn't film, well, I did film, this was my very first video, was the cover. And yes, that also just didn't work, as first videos sometimes do. But if you would like to know how I made this, please pop a comment below, and I will gladly do another video showing you the construction of the album itself, as well as what I did for decoration on the front. So this is just a flip that can flip up. And this is in Afrikaans. We're actually Afrikaans speaking. It says koffie vir die energie, klasse vir die drome en vriende vir die herinneringe. So coffee for the energy, classes for the dreams, and friends for the memories. So if you can lift this up, I'm not going to lift it up because I already put some photos in there and they're private. I would like to just respect my daughter's privacy, so I'm not going to show the photos. And then on the back, I just covered, I made some dangles that runs down. Everything has little memories. She's studying occupational therapy, so I put the OT in there. Her name starts with an M, and then her hockey jersey number was always number 2, so it's sort of her favorite number. So yes, I just put that in there. That's just a little bit of extra sentiment. And then on the back, there's a pocket. I haven't put anything in there. We're still going to do that, where she can just store some extra photos or whatever. Okay, so the insides you've been making or watching me make. I haven't done page 1 yet. We're going to get to that. Page 2 I haven't done yet. We're going to get to that. This is a big, I hope I'm in frame. This is a big gatefold. So this is just a little journal card that can host some photographs, and it opens up and it has all kinds of flips and flaps. I think I did this with letter F, if I'm not mistaken. And then here we have, I did this with letter C. It's a circular waterfall card that just flips out, and you can glue some photos on the back sides of all these pages. So it's just a little interactive piece that looks like that. And then this was a hidden tag that I made with letter H. Okay, I'll put that back later. And here, this was a big belly band slider card that was for letter B. You can also add some photographs to it, and the whole panel just slides up, and it has some extra journal cards. I'm not going to take everything out now. This isn't the flip through. I just wanted to show you what I did. This one was an envelope card, if I remember correctly. There's one of the acetate butterflies I did with letter A. This was like an envelope flippy flappy thing that I did. That goes down, that goes up, that comes down, that goes up. That you need to remember the whole rhyme every single time. Okay, and then here is the last page that I've done. I did this one with acetate. It has a tag that can slide out that can host a photograph. So when you put the photo in, you have this lovely like film strip that sort of covers it. Then here you just have pockets with journal cards and tags in it. And this I did with letter P, which is for pop-ups. So you can see that. And then today we're going to do the last page, which will host a waterfall card. So W for waterfall, waterfall page, waterfall photo flip. And that is what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to pull in a prototype I made, so that it's going to look something similar to this. Just a reminder, I am using a kit by that's designed by Kristen Cronenbarrow. She designs for Sweet Shop Designs. They are actually a digital scrapbooking company, so your design shop where you can buy designs for digital scrapbooking, and I love it. They have layovers and things you can use to modify the pages in the kit, which makes it interesting. And so every kit can look different, and you can print it out how many ever times you want. Most people use it for digital scrapbooking. I like the physical product, so I just print it out. And if you print it out so it can fit on an A4, which is the kind of paper we use, if you print it out on an A4, then you get an 8x8 page. You can, of course, click the little block that says fit to page, and you have an A4. And that is what I usually use for all the background pages, because I don't mind that usually the background pages are just patterns, so you don't mind that there are some pieces of the pattern cut off. Okay, so that is what I use. All the admin done. Let me show you the prototype. This is going to go into the album like this, and very straightforward. It closes with a magnet, and it's just some photo flips. So you're going to glue photos on each page. I do cut the slits in the background. I'm going to show you how I do that, so that you don't see the bits of the flap that you stuck down. You don't see the flaps you stuck down, they're hidden. So that is just straightforward like that, what we're going to do. Let's see how far we get. Maybe we can decorate it as well today. Before we continue, I just want to make you aware of something that I just thought of. I do have a magnet closure over here between these two pages, and this is the opposite page. You want to make sure that this magnet and this one won't interfere with each other. If they are too close, the two pages will magnetize together, and you don't want that in your albums. So this magnet is like in the middle of the page, and this one is on the end, so they should be fine. It looks like they're fine. They're not going to bother each other. It's just something to keep in mind. I've already cut all my pieces to size. As always, I'm going to put the table of measurements on screen now, so you can pause and just write it down if you want. If you would like to just keep it on your phone or wherever, I will have that in my on my coffee page for free. Just pop over and download a PDF from there. Then you can just save it or take a screenshot or whatever and have it on hand, and you don't have to have a little piece of paper that can fall somewhere in between all your stuff. So my coffee page is linked below. Pop around, and go and grab that for yourself. However, I will put the measurements on the screen. I probably already did. Okay, so my background page, as always, is 7 7/8 by 7 7/8 because my page in my album is 8 by 8. So I just want that little border. And then all my waterfall flips, I cut 7 of them. Obviously, you can resize them however you want, depending on what size your journal or album or whatever you're making are. You can add this to a folio, you can add this to a mini album, you can add this to a journal. Whatever you are busy creating, you can incorporate this. So for my size, I cut 7 pieces of cardstock that measures 6 by 4.5, and then we're going to score in 1/2 inch at the tops. And then I just have some photo mats, some patterned card that I'm going to, this is going to be the front sides, and I will decorate it a little bit, although I will probably just decorate the front one a lot, and then the rest I'll just decorate like in the corners, maybe put a little something over there, so there can also be photos added to them if she would like to add some more photos. These measure 5 7/8 by 3 7/8, and then we have a closure. The closure base measures 2 by 6 inches, and then I have a mat that measures 1 7/8 by 4 7/8, and you just cut 2 of those, one for the front and one for the back, and then I cut a smaller little one because I would like to have like another little mat on it. And we're going to score this one as well, so it will be able to close up. Okay, next I'm going to score, and then I'm just going to quickly pause the video or speed up the inking process. I love inking my edges. I just think it makes the album look finished. I don't know, I just love the framing of that, so that's me. Oh yes, and I forgot to say you'll also need some magnets. I have 2 magnets out as well. Right, let me just pull in my scoreboard. I'm going to use my small one, I don't need the big one today. And I like a bone folder better, it sits better in my hands. The closure we will score at 7/8. I just want to double check my measurements. I do have my cheat sheet right next to me. I'm scoring at 7/8 and I'm scoring at 1. So it's just a little 1/8 of an inch little hinge that I have over there. And then before I fold everything, let's just do all the scoring. All my waterfall cards I'm going to score at 1/2 inch on that side. Alright, all the corners are rounded. I just want to get everything back in the order that I wanted it because I've already decided. Sometimes I can take forever to decide the order in which I would like the papers. So do keep in mind you do see the bottom of each page. So it does matter what order you put them in. So I just wanted to space out the darker pages sort of evenly between everything. So that's going to be my order. I only rounded the bottom corners, you probably saw that. I just think I like it better that the two sharp corners at the tops stay sharp all through. So, or square, not sharp, square. I'm just going to leave it as is. Now I'm quickly going to just ink around. I think I will use my Tattered Rose, if I can remember where I put it. There. I'm going to use my Tattered Rose Distress Oxide for the lighter pages, and then the dark pages I'm going to use my black soot. So I'm quickly going to ink all around and just matte almost everything. I will show you how I put on the magnet. I'm going to add the magnet to the back of my closure so that there are not too many pages between my magnets, otherwise they won't magnetize properly. So let me quickly ink, and I'm going to glue on the fronts, and then I'll come back and show you the back of the closure. Everything is glued on, inked up, rounded corners, the whole works. Now we can just put it together. So for the magnet on the back of the closure, I am just going to add the magnet somewhere towards the top. So I'm just taking one of my magnets. Come on. and I'm going to glue it with double-sided tape, but I'm adding the double-sided tape over the magnet. I'm just snipping off a piece, adding the double-sided tape over the magnet like that. So then it holds onto the magnet and it holds onto the page. Oh, I think I don't burnish it down yet. I cut it too long because I still need to fit the piece of cardstock over it. Okay. So that should hold it in place. Then I'm just going to glue this piece of cardstock on top of it, like that. I'm just trying to remember how I did the other, because I want to add the other magnet on the back of the background page. But let's first finish this one, because it must be finished anyway. So I'm just quickly going to glue the mat over that. Oh, come on. I'm just putting some art glitter glue around the magnet and over top of it to make sure that there will be glue on top of the magnet to keep it in place. If the double-sided tape loses its stickiness over time, it will not be a problem, because then I do have the backup of art glitter glue to keep it in place. Oh, I just want to make sure this is centered. There we go. Just mop up the glue. Okay. Now I need to make sure these magnets will connect. It's not going to go through all of the pages, but I'm just sort of lining up my pages to make sure where the magnet is, it will catch on. Otherwise I'll have to make another plan. Come on. Of course these cardstock pages will not slide right now. I don't know why. Okay. This is just an approximation. It's just to make sure that it will catch through all the layers, but I am doubting it. I'm thinking it might be a better idea it does catch through all the layers. Will it keep everything? It does. It does. It keeps everything. So yes, that will work. Otherwise I would have just put it underneath. I'm actually wondering, because if we add some photos as well, I'm thinking I must incorporate the magnet. It's going to be better if I incorporate it somehow underneath whatever I use to decorate on the top with, and I think I'm going to do that. So let's quickly get these fixed, in place. I'm quickly going to glue these in, and then I am going to decide what I'm going to do for decoration, and just make sure, because it will be a cluster of some sort. So I'm just going to put this magnet at the bottom of the cluster, so it will be covered up, you won't be able to see it, but then I don't need to worry about what I do for decoration on top, because the magnet will still be able to stick together. Anyway, okay, so to add the flips, I'm just turning around my background page and pulling in my ruler. So on the back I'm going to mark from a 1/2 inch, I'm going to mark down every 1/2 inch for a total of 7 slots. So the first one will be at 1/2 inch, and then 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, etc. until I have 7 slots. And I'm just drawing the lines on the sides. I'm going to measure at 1 inch and at 7 inches. One and a 7. I just want to make sure that is the sides and not top and bottom. Okay, here we go. And here we go. And then I'm measuring every 1/2 inch for 7 slots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I just pulled in my older mat. I don't mind getting some cuts in. It can still handle a few more cuts. I always tend to do that. I use my older mat until it doesn't look nice anymore, and then I just keep it sort of as a backup to do my cutting and inking and stuff on, so my newer mat can look better for longer. Okay, so I'm basically going to make a little slit. So what I do is I just look at the pencil line. It actually, I mean, it's not so thin that you can't see. It has basically has 2 sides. So I'm lining up my ruler with the one side of the pencil line, and I'm just cutting the slit. And then I basically line it up with the other end of the pencil line. It's difficult to see it on camera, but when you draw a pencil line you'll know what I mean. So it's basically the width of the pencil line that I am just cutting out. That cutter, you can see it's very, very, very thin. So it will just be broad enough for my cardstock to slip through. Just want to see here, it's okay. So my cardstock will slip through easily without there being any excess paper that doesn't know where to go, and then it buckles. That's why I'm just making a little slit. Instead of just slicing it, I'm just making that thin sliver of an opening. If you just slice it through, then everything seems to bunch up around your cardstock, and it makes like a buckle or something, and it looks weird. So I'm quickly going to finish all of them, but I'm going to speed the video up so you don't have to watch me do this. Right, all the slits are cut. I'm quickly going to miter all the corners just so it can slip into my slits easier, and then we're going to glue everything to the back. Moment of truth. Let's see if this worked. I'm going to start from the bottom and just slide my flip in. Oh boy. It would help if I only picked up one of each. Now fold over to the bottom, please. The bottom ones are just sliding up. I don't know why they're doing this now. It's because the camera's rolling. That's why. It never does this. Okay. It's fine. Stay down flat, please. Thank you. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. Once we glued everything down, everything should lie flat. It's just misbehaving now. You can see on the back that because we only folded over 1/2 inch, it fits exactly on the in-between parts, so you don't have overlapping little flaps on the back. Okay, so I'm just going to glue them down. I think I'm wondering if maybe I should just add a tab to every page. I think that might be a great idea. Okay, and then I decided I think I'd rather just have some tea-dyed paper. So I am just going to fold this and pull in my punch. So these, this is just a scrap piece of cardstock that I dyed with rooibos tea. I'm thinking black soot. I like the color rooibos gives the paper. It's not so dark, it's more of a like an orangey, almost a rust color, not completely, but it's not the like dark grayish brownish color that normal tea gives. No, I don't like that. I think I will rather tea dye, maybe. Yeah, just tea dye just so it looks finished. So now to decide what to use and what not to use. I am surrounded by all kinds of bits and bobs. Stuff we've made through ABC April, other stuff. Yes, looks like fun. So let's start decorating. So I think I would like to use this big camera because I do have these images on here, and what goes better with the camera than a film strip, so I think that will probably end up like that. And I just thought this flower sort of also fits in there. Maybe labeled. I'm just trying to think of some texture. I don't have different textures in there at the moment. But at the same time, I don't want to cover up the magnet too much. So, although there's not a lot of image on that side, shall we do that? That is next to the magnet, so that shouldn't be a problem. Will you see that? So this is what I usually do. I just play around with whatever I think I might use. And dry fit everything, and once I'm happy I will start gluing everything down. I like that. That will work. And I'm just thinking, what else would I like? I don't want that lined up. Maybe some foliage. Foliage would be a good idea. Some of these faux stamps we created. Preserve memories, maybe. Maybe that should go on there. Yes, I think so. I actually wanted to do this one, picking out the bottom part. I think maybe I must just sort of lift this one up with some of the foam tape. Give it some dimension, and maybe just add a small label somewhere, a longer one maybe. Something like that. And then I have all the embellishments from the kit. So maybe repeat this flower. There. And a small little one over there. And I'm thinking some bits of foliage over here as well. Look, this can go over the side. I don't mind that so much. Do that. Maybe this one is a bit too small. But I do have bigger ones, so let's take a bigger one. Maybe there. I just want to see, because it sort of disappears in these little stripes, but maybe if I tea dye the edges. And just have that over there. Maybe a piece of torn paper. I have little scrappies of paper. I think I took out too much stuff because I can't find half of the stuff I'm looking for. Do I want just a plain scrap of paper, or do I want something on it? I also did make those stamped little scraps, but where I put it, that is another question. I'm not sure even where I put it. Just tear a piece of paper. Some numbers. I don't want it too big, just a teeny little something. Oh, come on. Yes, I think something like that will work very nicely. Okay, I think this one can go back in there. I actually like it there. I do like this front part, so I am going to glue that down. I'm just sort of thinking some extra foliage coming out the bottom will maybe not be a bad idea. It's just another repetition of that top one. Like that. And then of course on the back I would also like some foliage. Maybe take a bigger one of these. I think I'm going to work that in somewhere. And that's a bigger one of that other leaf. But I think that's too big. I would like something to come out this side. I think. Oh no, I don't think I'm going to use this one. Okay, let's do the front part first. I still need one more flower. I like working in threes. So this is one, that is two. I need another little one. Just to move your eye around the page better. Should I bring back that small little teeny tiny one? Let me get some tweezers. That will be a great idea. Something like that maybe. Okay. Still deciding on that. Okay, I'm going to start inking and then just gluing things down as I go. So I think I'll put on some nice music, just make my decisions and glue everything down and then see what happens. As I got ready to glue my page into my album, I thought maybe it might be a good idea to just bring you along for that journey. So this is the last page in the album. And the reason I wanted to bring you in for the journey is I just want to show you how I'm going to handle this. Because if we don't glue all of that down very well, it will keep lifting up. So I'm just carefully putting some art glitter glue on every single slot, or yeah, actually the bits in between the slots. So on this flap, being careful not to go underneath the slots, because then everything will glue together and that won't be good. I also did put double-sided tape on the ends. It just makes it easier to sort of navigate your borders, just to make sure that you can still move the page. So I'm making sure the glue doesn't touch too much. There we go, that looks good to me. I'm just going to pull these out. And glue the whole thing down. There we go. Then I'm just going to press down very well all the bits in between. Just want to make sure that everything glues down where I want it to glue down and not. Okay, see, I don't want that to go over the bottom page or the bottom flip. And it keeps doing that. Why do you keep doing that? Sorry guys, I just want to see what I'm doing here. I think that looks good. And then why is my magnet not sticking now? That is a bit of a problem. I think it might be because everything is just lifting up that little bit. I'm going to, yes, that's better. I'm just going to sort of take my bone folder and just nudge it a little bit so it will curl down instead of up. You must also curl down a little bit. There we go. I think I'll just put something heavy on this side just to get all of this flat. So here's what we did today. It's a waterfall photo flip page. And I just added this sentiment, and then I was going to put every photo tells a story, so I'll have two empty ones, top and bottom, and I don't know what I didn't think, and then I started at the very first one and I had two left over in the end, so I just took another sentiment that said striker pose and added that at the bottom. So now it says every photo tells a story, striker pose. Hopefully that doesn't sound too weird, but anyway, it is what it is. So we can add either one photo over here. This is a 5 1/8 by 3.5 inch, or two wallet size photos. So you can also add a photo over here if you'd like. I'm not going to decorate these at all, so that if my daughter would like to place a photo on, she can. I think that will look lovely, something like that. And then all of them just flip up, And then you can flip everything down again and close it up. So yes, that's my story for today. I hope you had fun with me. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're still here and still sticking around, well done and thank you so much. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. It will really help out my channel. Keep well, till next time, bye.